Guero Local podcast. I'm here with my co-host and my other co-host. Give them an opportunity to introduce themselves. Today they are a bit quiet. So on our first episode of Guero Local podcast, we have quite possibly the worst episode ever prepared for you because we have nothing prepared. I'm just gonna sit here, talk shit on my couch, and tell you why I know better than the UFC. Alright? Because obviously, look at this castle. Compare this to Dana White's house. Guarantee it's close. Bet it's close. So, this weekend in combat sports, specifically UFC, we have Gilbert Burns versus Sean Brady. I believe number 4 versus number 8 welterweight ranked contenders. At the Apex, with no crowd. And yesterday I did maybe a 40-minute video breakdown on the entire card. And when I was gonna go edit it, rewatch, edit, I decided that there was nothing there. It was the most boring 40 minutes that I've ever, in my life, alright? And I didn't want to do that to you. So, we're going to talk Sean Brady, we're going to talk Gilbert Burns, and we're going to move on. Because I consider myself to be not a casual. I would say borderline hardcore. Maybe not quite hardcore, like some of them out there. But pretty close, I would say. But it's nonetheless not a smart guy to begin with. So I did not know any. I knew names. I knew Matt Schnell. Obviously, Jessica Andrade. Seen a couple other guys on a couple different Apex cards, but I really had to do quite a bit of research on who the fuck was fighting. And I want to sound prepared. I don't want to come on the show and just say words that I've written down, because who the fuck's gonna watch that? Because I watched it last night and I fucking almost threw the camera across the room. It was travesty, to say the least. So, we're gonna skip that. And we're going to get right into the meat and potatoes, which is number 4 versus number 8, welterweight ranked. Former title challenger Gilbert Burns, number 4 welterweight, versus up and coming on a hot streak, number 8 contender, welterweight rankings, Sean Brady. My first take on the fight. When I first heard it was announced, was a week ago. I was watching, 2 weeks ago. Whenever I was watching 305 Izzy and Drickus, I saw that Brady and Burns were going to be fighting. That's the first I heard of it, to be honest. I'm not a big social media guy. Used to have it just to keep up with the sport. But I got tired of all the beta males posting alpha male quotes with like a little piano music in the back, like Peaky Blinders scenes with piano music over it. And I was just sick of it. I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? So anyway, I fucking got rid of that. The best way I can keep up with the sport now is through podcast and URLs. Bloody Elbow. MMA on Point. Whatever other forums are out there that I can get my greedy little hands on for free. So, 2 weeks ago I hear about this fight and I instantly think, oh, Sean Brady. Let me tell you what. I have been a long time Gilbert Burns fan. Big Gilbert Burns fan. Last fight, Gilbert, and I don't sports bet, so I'm not super salty about this. Or maybe I'm more salty because it was like the only time that I ever bet. I put a 3-leg parlay. I'm from Miami, $2.99, UFC, Miami. I put a parlay on Burns, DP, and Sugar. And Burns was 1 minute and 14 seconds away from winning when he was TKO KO'd by Jack Della. Dustin went on to win. Beautiful performance. Sugar went on to win. Magnificent performance. So, really the only parlay I've ever really put together was 1 minute and 14 seconds away from hitting. I put a little bit of money down. I re-went and put another parlay right after on DP Sugar, just enough to make what I had lost back, and I hit, I won. But, needless to say, just because of that is not why I'm with Sean Brady. I'm still a massive Gilbert Burns fan. In my heart, it's saying, let's go Gilbert. But in this sport, I've learned that betting with your heart doesn't work. It's like a car without a battery. It just doesn't, it doesn't work. Maybe that's a bad analogy. But, a little bit, toasty right now? I don't know. It's breakfast time. You know how it goes. So I don't bet with the heart anymore. I don't bet at all with my money because I like my money far too much to give it to these fucking gambling sites when I don't win. Especially on fights when someone underperforms. And they could have won, but it just wasn't their night. You never know what's going to happen. So I'm not putting my money in the hands of these freaking guys, bro. I'll tell you that. Sean Brady is, I believe he's 31. Fuck. Or 32, right? Gilbert is 38. Now, both of these guys are, in my opinion, like, pretty equally matched, besides the age. I think the age is going to be a factor in this fight. And the age is the main reason that I'm picking Sean Brady. Gilbert has climbed the mountain. Gilbert has fought for the title against former teammate Kamaru. Very emotional ending to that sequence with him not winning. Gilbert then went out, I think even after that, I think still on the rise was Gilbert fighting Hamzat. The guy that nobody wanted to fight, the guy that everyone was scared of. And Gilbert went out there and put on, dude, I will watch that fight any time of the day. If someone says to me, do you want to watch Gilbert Burns versus Hamzat Chimaev? Let's fucking go, dude. Absolutely. What a beautiful fight. I think that was more or less the turning point on his way down. And now fighters have wins on their way down. But people confuse that with like, oh, maybe they're not on the... No. Your trajectory is based off of your age. And that's just what it is. Alright? You may get wins as an older guy. I mean, look at Robbie Lawler. Went out on, what, he beat old Nick Diaz and he beat Nico Price. Went out with that. I mean, but he's still on his way down. Doesn't mean Robbie Lawler climbed like this his whole career. That's not how it works. So I personally believe that 38, that's up there for welterweight. I mean, in these bigger classes, light, heavy, you could probably pull 38 off, and it won't. Those are weaker divisions, to be honest. Welterweight's stacked right now, in my opinion. So Sean Brady is clearly still on his way up. Has not reached the peak, or even close to it, I believe. I believe both guys are. I believe Gilbert's jiu-jitsu would be better. As far as wrestling, specifically, I might have to give that to Sean Brady. Especially with, like I said, age. Wrestling has got to be the hardest one to keep up with. I mean, you see old guys do jiu-jitsu. Specifically jiu-jitsu. Not MMA jiu-jitsu, but jiu-jitsu. And they can pull it off because, I mean, if you're not rolling with crazy guys who are trying to snap your legs and crank your neck, you know, it's kind of like a flow. You could do it. As long as you recover and live correctly, live like a jiu-jitsu athlete. Jiu-jitsu you can do as an older age sport. 100%. Wrestling? Can't do it. I wrestled in high school. Former wrestler. And it's a very tolling sport on your body. Even as a young man, let alone as someone who's 38 years old, you know? So, age is also going to be a factor with the wrestling. That's why I believe Sean's definitely got the edge in wrestling. The striking, I think they're pretty equal. I don't think either guy is a phenomenon on the feet, but I think both guys can crack. I think both guys have a serious overhand, like a wrestler overhand, you know, a typical wrestler overhand. And if they land it, they can put you out. Sean Brady's knocked people out. Gilbert Burns has knocked people out in the UFC. Like, these guys can crack. Fights in Vegas, no altitude problems, nothing like that. Should be normal go. As long as both guys come in injury-free, I believe that Gilbert's path to success would be through his cardio, if anything. I think Gilbert needs to come in like just cardio machine, Cain Velasquez, Colby Covington, just cardio machine. I think that would be a good area to target in your game plan. I think Sean's gonna. I think the fight will be on the ground. I don't think these guys are gonna stand and bang. I think the fight should be a 5-rounder. If it goes 5 rounds, I see the fight ending on the floor in 3 of the 5 rounds. Okay? I believe that entails Sean Brady holding Gilbert down, doing minimal ground and pound, because that's what I believe Sean Brady does. Maybe I'm wrong, and you can cry in the comments, and I will ignore you. But that's what I believe. So, this weekend, not putting any more fucking effort into this bullshit Apex. Fuck you, UFC fans. We'll give you Spivak versus Ty. I mean, we'll give you. I wish the Apex shows would go on the road. I really do. I can't fathom the idea that we started this whole Apex Fight Island thing, COVID, that's long gone, and yet we're still doing it. Benefits the UFC, and I cry about it. I say how I think they could do this or do this, but here I am sitting in my bullshit apartment, and Dana's probably on a yacht, so maybe I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But I'm still gonna cry about it, and I'm still gonna shut the fuck up and watch what they give me anyway. So I don't really know. Like, I hate being a hypocrite, but I kinda, yeah. My heart says Gilbert. My brain says Sean. I'm going to official pick Sean. I'm not going to do a lot of picks on this podcast. I'll probably do the main event of every event. But I don't like picking fights. It's not something I'm fond of doing. I'm not very good at it because I'm such a fan of the sport. I'm such a fan of some athletes. It feels disrespectful. Even if I think the other guy's going to win, to pick against my guy, you know? So usually I'll pick my guy, and a lot of the times I get fucked. My guys let me down a lot. But nevertheless, I'm still a fan. So, yeah, that's it. fuck UFC Apex. Please go on the road a little more. Do these local shows, these local venues. Not, you know what I mean? Like UFC Denver, Newark, or that was a title fight. But Denver was a UFC fight night. They have fight nights all over. It doesn't have to be a pay-per-view for it to be a live crowd event. And it just makes it feel so much more like, bro, when the fuck does the NFL have games where nobody fucking is allowed to go? Or the NBA? Or fucking PGA golf? Fucking tennis? I mean, dude. You got a couple fucking... You pretty much have the families, and then maybe like a couple rich guys in the Apex. Like, I don't fucking know. It's almost like back in the day when they would do, you know, Django? When they would do the fights to the death, you know? And with the slaves, and just a couple fucking rich guys would be watching. That kind of feels like where we're at. I can't remember the name of what those are, the fighters themselves. But nevertheless, that's all I'm saying. Fuck UFC Apex. Next up on the schedule, we have September 14th, which will be celebrated as Dia de Independencia de Mexico, okay? Technically, that is the 17th and not the 14th, but the 14th is the closest Saturday to when that will fall. You have a massive night if you're a fight fan. You have Canelo Berlanga, and you also have UFC Sphere, which is Sean O'Malley, Merab Dvalishvili, and you also have Alexa Grasso versus Valentina Shevchenko. So Alexa Grasso de Guadalajara, Mexico, okay? In the co-main event of UFC Sphere, the first ever sporting event at the Sphere, you also have Canelo de Guadalajara, Mexico, fighting Puerto Rican up-and-coming star Edgar Berlanga. I was really thinking about which fight is going to cater more to the Mexican people on this day, because this is really a celebration of Mexico and Mexican fighters, which there's an enormous long history of, alright? The Sphere is very fucking expensive, alright? Ticket sales for cheap seats, I believe we're in the upper 2,000s, almost $3,000. They have plummeted, and they cannot sell out the Sphere. This might be the first event that UFC has not sold out in a long time. Tickets that were $3,000 are now $800. Tickets that were $5,000 are now $2,000. I mean, they have been cut more than in half. Drastic price decline. And I just... you know what 3,000 American dollars is? That's 60,000 pesos, okay? There will be 0 Mexicans coming from Mexico, unless you live close to the border. Maybe you pull it off. There will be very little Mexicans coming to the Sphere, I believe, unless you're an American Mexican, or an American with Mexican heritage, or just an American who wants to watch UFC Sphere, right? I don't know what the seating prices are for Canelo Berlanga, but if you ask me, who main event, Sean Merab, Canelo Berlanga. The extensive history between Puerto Rico and Mexico, the rivalry, it's a big one. It's if you know boxing, which I do not, I just sit here in front of my stupid cheap camera and on my fucking cheap couch and pretend to know. Pretend to act like I know. I don't even pretend to know. I just act like I pretend to know. That I would have, now listen, I know that I'm a fucking idiot, but I I would have scratched Sugar versus Murat. I would have made Alexa Shevchenko, and they're coming off a season of Tough too. Like, it's a big deal, okay? It's not like it's just a third fight. The last fight was a draw, and they did a season of Tough. When Grasso beat Shevchenko, it was a massive upset. I mean, this is a big trilogy fight for female MMA. Grasso is a massive star in Mexico, specifically Guadalajara, a massive star. I would have put Grasso Shevchenko main event, and I would have had a banger of a co-main. I would have told Chandler, hey, listen, we're not waiting for Conor anymore. You're gonna go and you're gonna fight. Insert big fucking name, Volkanovski. You're telling me that if it was Chandler versus Volkanovski in the co-main, Alexa and Shevchenko in the main, I'm not gonna lie, it's hard for me to watch female MMA. But I would fucking watch that. I'm interested in the Grasso Shevchenko trilogy. I am. Also on the card, the UFC card, you have Lazy Boy Rodriguez, you have Manuel Torres, you have Irene Aldana, you have a lot of up-and-coming Mexican talent. But what they didn't do was put any, a really established Mexican talent out there. And you're going to say, oh, well, we don't have that. Well, we do. I mean, Brandon Moreno is former champ, very established UFC fighter with a massive name. I believe he's from Tijuana. I'm not sure. I hope it's not somewhere else because I'm going to feel stupid. Yair Rodriguez, former interim champ, and very established in Mexico. I'm not exactly sure why we couldn't get these guys on the card. Moreno does now have a fight with Amir Albazi or something. I believe that fight was scheduled before and didn't happen. I'm not sure. Like I said, I just act like I pretend to know what the fuck's going on. I would have tried to get Brandon on the card. I would have tried to get Yair on the card. And with that, you could have easily had Grasso as the main event. Moving over to Berlanga versus Canelo, the face of boxing, Canelo Alvarez. Saul Canelo Alvarez. Wow, I can't even speak today. My fiance is Puerto Rican. I have the outline of the Puerto Rico island, of the island of Puerto Rico tattooed on my leg. My chain that I've been wearing for 3 years now is a Puerto Rican flag. The hat that I have on right now is Puerto Rican. It says Puerto Rico. So I am a massive Puerto Rico guy. Massive. Whatever it is. Whether you want to talk about the island, whether you want to eat Puerto Rican food, whether you want to watch every Puerto Rican Olympic athlete, whether you want to watch local Puerto Rican basketball, okay? Bayamón Vaqueros or Arecibo Capitones, whatever it is, I rep Puerto Rico hard, very hard. I love Puerto Rico and everything Puerto Rican. And so do Puerto Ricans. When there is an athlete or anything to do with someone Puerto Rican getting any bit of spotlight, the Puerto Rican people show up. So, I believe there's going to be a giant pop for Berlanga at this fight. As far as maybe not in the arena, or yeah, it's T-Mobile, I think. Might not get a pop in the arena because there's not a lot of Puerto Ricans there, but maybe they travel for that. But I believe fans will be watching this fight. I mean, dude, one of theirs is fighting Canelo Alvarez. The rivalry between Puerto Rico and Mexico is fucking huge, bro. So, I believe a lot of Puerto Ricans are going to tune in to watch Edgar Berlanga possibly be, hot take here, Canelo's fastest knockout. I don't know. Like I said, I ride fucking Puerto Rico. But I gotta say what I think and not what I feel in my heart. Like I said with the Burns Brady. I'm a giant Canelo fan, by the way. Like, dick riding, fucking red hair, Mexican. Let's fucking go, dude. Love Canelo. I think he's definitely handpicking opponents. I think he has the right to. I think Floyd did it, and we all talk shit about Floyd, but guess what? We all still watch his fights. We all just shut the fuck up and watch the fights. And guess what? We're going to do the same with Canelo. Oh, he should be fighting Benavidez. Oh, he should be fighting Crawford. Canelo can do whatever the fuck he wants, and you will shut the fuck up and watch. You may complain, and I may complain, but he doesn't fucking care, okay? He fought the who's who already. He fought people that we said he wouldn't fight, all right? He went up, he lost, he came back, and he looked phenomenal, okay? Canelo embodies a fucking champion, all right? Coming from the streets of Guadalajara, selling popsicles to get money for his family as a kid, to where he is now. He gets to call his own shots, okay? So if we think he's ducking these other guys and fighting Berlanga because it's easy, well, it's true. But he fucking gets to do that, all right? When you're top dog, you get to fucking do that. I mean, what is Floyd doing now? Fighting John Gotti the second, third, fighting Logan Paul. Like, dude, when you become the man, you call your shots, dude. Conor doesn't fucking get called out. Conor gets called out by everybody, but Conor never bites on that. Conor calls the fucking shots, and that's what you earn when you are the face of a sport. Canelo, the face of boxing. McGregor, the face of mixed martial arts. They do what they want, and rightfully so. Do you think they care about some stupid motherfucker like me sitting on their couch making a dumb video about how they're ducking somebody? They don't fucking care, bro, and I wouldn't fucking care either if I lived in a house like that. Fucking on his yacht, like, yeah, shut the fuck up, lad. It is what it is. I believe the Canelo Berlanga fight caters more to the Mexican people. I believe that there will be more Mexicans watching around the world. Maybe not in person, but watching around the world. Yeah, so that one's on me. Bit of camera difficulties. The thing overheats and shuts off, and I lose where the fuck I was in my train of thought. New apartment, still doing construction. I can hear noise. I don't know if you guys can. I hope you can, because I don't want to be the only one fucking bothered while I do this. I want you guys to watch and also fucking hate it. Anyway, I'm going to get off this UFC 306. Like I've said 4 times already. Canelo Berlanga is the fight for Mexican Independence Day. UFC Sphere is more of a spectacle. I'm going to pick Sugar and I'm going to pick Canelo. There's my 2 picks. I'll break down both of those next week because we're still a ways out. I want to see press conferences. I want to see fight week shenanigans. So we'll see what happens there. Hopefully we get some good stuff to talk about. Moving on to the rest of the year as far as UFC is concerned. Event after 306, we have Alex Pereira, Khalil Roundtree. The ultimate stand up, knock down, drag them out, just gonna be a banger, I believe. The Muay Thai of Khalil Roundtree versus the kickboxing of Alex Pereira, I think it should be a very fucking good event. We'll talk more about that when we get closer. What's bigger than that is 308. Holloway Ilya. I believe if I asked 10 people which event they were more excited for, 308 or 307, I believe 8 of those people would say 308. I know I would be one of the 8. Max, since losing the belt, has looked like he should have, I don't know. I picked Max in that 3rd fight for sure. Oh, no, sorry. In that 2nd fight against Volk, for sure I thought he had that. The 3rd fight, that was pretty obviously Volk. Since then, Max has just whooped up on every up-and-coming and leaving. He beat up Korean Zombie on his way out. That was a little fucked up. But Max is a monster. I believe if Volkanovski didn't exist, Max would still be featherweight champion right now. So I believe Max is going to get the belt back. I think Ilya is a scary, scary guy. I actually picked Ilya to beat Volk. I was one of the very few. Super proud of that. I was at the Hard Rock Guitar in Hollywood watching the event, and I had VIP. Not because I paid for it, because I got there fucking really early, and I just sat there and nobody moved me when it was time for the event to start. So I was in VIP, fucking looking at all these broke motherfuckers behind the fucking tape, you know, trying to stand up like sardines and watch the fight. And when Ilya walked out, I turned around and looked them all in the eye because they were all boo, you know, whatever, Volk, Volk, Volk. When Ilya put him out, I turned around and pointed every single one of those fucking happy dads right in their eyes. And I said, I fucking told you so. And then I went home and life went on. Anyway, picking fucking Max over Ilya. But still, what an exciting topic to talk about. What's even more exciting, what everybody has been waiting for, is 309. And you know what it is because we've been waiting now for 2 years. Which is John Jones, Stipe Miocic. The fight that all the fans want. The fight that is most trending in ticket sales and promotion. The fight that everybody cannot go without seeing. We are also excited. We will bow down to Dana and we will fucking suck his little bald balls. And we will watch Jones Stipe, no matter how bad we don't want to. But regardless, I cannot wait for the co-main of 309, whatever the fuck that will be, because Jones Stipe does not interest me really at all. I understand what it is, but as far as catching my interest, I mean, what the fuck are we doing here? Dana used to always gripe on, this is not boxing. We do the best versus the best. We don't do this blah blah. And right now, Jones Stipe is a whole lot of blah blah. And you guys know who the rightful heavyweight champion of the world is right now. Alright? And I don't even need to say it, we all know. But cannot wait to say the least. Wow, I cannot wait. Look at my face. Do I not look fucking excited? Because I am. Super excited, yeah. Another fight that I believe the world is excited for, and also myself, just my heart's racing now thinking about it, is Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. And El Gallo de Dorado, Jake Paul. Can't even speak a word of Spanish. Jake Paul, who lives in Puerto Rico but doesn't know Spanish. Jake Paul, who lives there for a tax write-off in Dorado, the most basic fucking place in Puerto Rico. If you live in Dorado, Puerto Rico, you essentially live in Miami, alright? It's so much different than the rest of the island. It's a very bougie place. That's where my fiance is from. I know it very well. I'm not just talking on my ass. I've stayed there. Her father still lives there. Like, I have spent plenty of time in Dorado, Puerto Rico. And it is by far the most boring fucking place on the island. I mean, if you go on vacation to Puerto Rico and you visit Dorado for any reason besides your fiance's father lives there, you're a fucking twit. And I don't want to be associated with you. Man, I hate Jake Paul so much that I hope Mike pulls out, as he should. He's a 58-year-old man. I don't have the training that Jake has. I don't I train. I train Muay Thai, I train Jiu-Jitsu, I wrestled for a long time. I don't anymore, but I did. I think I would be any 50-year-old man, 58-year-old man on this planet just based on age. You could juice him up too. Dude, 58 is 60 years old, bro. I mean, you're talking grandpas. No, you're literally talking fucking grandpas. I mean, I don't know what we're doing here, bro. Jake has the biggest, baddest trainers, the biggest, baddest training facilities, the best nutritionists, the best anything you could need to become a good professional boxer. And yet he refuses to do just that, is become a real professional boxer. He is a fucking circus. I want Mike to pull out as he should, and I want Logan to step in. And I'm not saying I hope this happens. I'm saying that if it doesn't, if one of the two brothers don't fucking kill each other and rid us of one of these fucking dumbass pools, I mean, bro, I will unsubscribe to fucking Netflix. And my fiance gets a student discount because she's a medical school student. So I don't even pay that much for Netflix. Relatively, it's close to free. But I will unsubscribe. If one of the poles don't die in a fight against each other, that's what we're here for. That's what we want. Nobody wants Paul Tyson. And I have friends of mine, acquaintances, that are not fight fans, that genuinely think Mike can win. He's like, but what if he catches you, bro? Bro, any 58-year-old alive, I think I should be able to smack them the fuck up. Purely based on fucking cardio. Bro, they're gonna have pillows on their hands. I think they're doing 16 ounces. Fuck it, let's do 30-ounce fucking gloves. Let's just be ridiculous. So that Jake is so protected. Even Jake versus Perry. Jake gassed the fuck out. Jake could literally gas out harder than that against Mike Tyson. He's still gonna have more energy than Mike Tyson. He's fucking 60, bro. So, the two most anticipated, waited for fights of the year. Jones, Stipe, Paul Tyson. Pool Tyson. El Gallo de Dorado. Fucking clown. Oh my goodness. I'm not saying that I could beat Jake in boxing. I definitely probably would get knocked out. I'm willing to admit that. But in a street fight, I will fuck Jake up. Oh my goodness. That kid would get ran through. He is such a little fucking pussy, bro. I think he's a couple months younger than me. But we're not even a year apart. I don't even think half a year. I think we may be half a year apart. So it's fair game. He's much bigger than me. I would fucking break that guy's leg. I would just kick him twice, ankle lock. Kick him twice, fucking ankle sweep into a fucking ankle lock, dude. Into a heel hook, and just shatter his fucking leg. I mean, what kind of fucking guy? He's gonna knock out Mike Tyson. He's gonna jump up on the ropes like he always does and try to be fucking Conor McGregor. I mean, bro, he celebrates after beating old fucking guys. Like, bro, when I'm sparring in the gym, and I'm sparring a guy that's clearly much smaller than me, and I take it easy on him, and maybe I hit him with a good shot and I drop him, I go check on the guy. I don't be like, yeah, fuck you, bitch, look at me, I'm fucking tough as fuck. No, bro. No, bro. Now, if I'm against a guy who's better than me, and for some reason I get the fucking best of him, which doesn't ever happen, but it's possible that it could. Do you think I'm gonna fucking celebrate that either? No, I will in private. But you gotta fucking show respect to those who fucking paved the way for you, bro. And all you're doing is literally taking them out, stealing their flame, and adding it to your fucking tiki torch or whatever the fuck you have. Because you have, oh my goodness. I'm sure you guys don't want to hear any more about Jake fucking Poole, so we're gonna get off that subject. You got Burns, Brady coming up this weekend. and I'm very excited. We are going with Brady, but in our hearts we're going Burns. This has been the first episode of Guerra Local Podcast, and I will see you guys next week. Peace. I'm gonna run another outro just in case we can cut this up after, because I was just fucking interrupted to tell me that they're gonna do something. We've got this weekend Burns Brady, alright? We're gonna pick Brady with our freaking minds, and in our hearts we're gonna be rooting hardcore for Gilbert Burns. I will be rooting for Gilbert Burns. I will not watch the rest of this fight night. I will find something better to do, even if it's staring at the fucking ceiling fan. Alright? I feel disrespected by the UFC when they feed me this bullshit and expect me to just be like, oh, well, thanks, Dana. No, this is fucking, bro, I don't want to be disrespectful. So I won't. I'm just going to not say anything. But you can imagine what I was going to say. After that, we have Sphere coming up, Canelo Berlanga. I mean, bro, Max Ilya, we got a freaking good rest of the year for combat sports. We got Francis's fight with Fajeda. I think that's this year. And also, once again, fucking Jake Paul, like, literally trying to face these guys off, and then when he separates them, they face forward and they do they do their little stance, whatever, for the picture. Jake literally, as the mediator, put his fucking... Anyway, why doesn't, if Jake wants to be a heavyweight, why doesn't Jake fight Francis? They're both in the PFL. I'm down for that. Anyway, this has been the first episode of Guerra Local Podcast, and it's probably been horrible. So if you didn't watch the whole thing, I respect that. If you did, you probably fucking got nothing better to do, like me talking to this camera. I'm gonna stop this fucking video now, and I'm gonna do something productive with my life. I couldn't tell you what, but I'll brainstorm and figure it out. So check us out next week when we go over the UFC Apex card this week. We will recap it, and we will prepare for the Dia de Independencia de Mexico, okay? Alright, stay fucking fruity, fellas. One last thing that I forgot to mention was, if you hated this video, please comment and tell me how fucking bad it sucked in the comments. And if you like this video, please subscribe, because I need fucking money. I'm so fucking broke, it's not even funny. So please subscribe and give me your money. So catch you next week.